Okay, my name is Nadav Kison and I'm the CEO of Riverside.fm. I'm super excited to show you all what we've been working on behind the scenes. This has been like a major milestone for us internally, and also a big effort to come closer to our mission of making your life as a creator easier. I was even so busy that I forgot to unmute my mic. But here we are. I am Nadav, the CEO. This is Gideon, the CTO. And in a few minutes, we'll start demoing what we've all been working on behind the scenes. In the meantime, we would love to share you some of the feedback we've gotten from some of our users. Gideon, maybe you can start by sharing that.
Do you mean, can you be a bit more specific?
Guy Ross.
Okay, Guy Ross. That's not just a user, that's a big user.
It's a big user, yeah.
So Nadav, I will ask you to mute your camera so everybody can see.
Hey everyone, it's Guy Raz here, and I got to check out a preview of Riverside 2.0, and it is going to help take your show to the next level.
If Guy Raz says it, then it must be real.
Exactly. So Guy Raz is actually one of the biggest podcasters out there, who has been really working alongside us and giving us a lot of feedback, and we were lucky to share some of our feedback. So today, what we're going to be launching is we're going to show this in like 15 minutes, and I think it's going to be really blow you all away, especially the AI speaker mode. But for now, I want to all ask you to retweet. Actually, on we just tweeted out a tweet where we are where we are speaking about our launch event. Some of the information can already be found there. We are also giving away a MacBook Air. And during this conversation, if you all want to ask questions, you can tweet at us by tweeting Ask Riverside. So if you do hashtag Ask Riverside, our team will reply to all of your questions, and we'll also try to answer all of your questions during the show. So Gideon, let's start by accepting one of our users who has been leveraging Riverside a lot, and maybe you can give a bit of perspective and how he has been using Riverside. And looking forward to seeing how he's been using Riverside. James, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
Welcome. So you've been using Riverside for how long?
Oh, it's probably been about 5-6 months or so, and I love it. I'm a huge fanboy for it.
Amazing. Could you tell me us a bit more about your show and how you use Riverside? Yeah,
so I actually am the creator and host of the Startup Story podcast. We unpack startup founders, how they got to where it is they are today. And before Riverside, I, like many others, when we were doing podcasts virtually, was leveraging Zoom. Video and audio quality, just kind of, we were stuck with whatever we could get. If there were buffering issues, that created problems as well. And I did do the isolating audio tracks, all the things that people talk about. But when I discovered Riverside, man, the show just went next level. Part of what the show, the Startup Story brand has, is we distribute video on entrepreneur.com. And so I'm super particular when it comes to audio and video quality, and having the ability to gain like source video and audio files, regardless of what the internet connection was, right? I mean, that's like, you can never trust, just because you're talking to some, Silicon Valley founder, that their internet's going to be stable. It's a hot mess everywhere sometimes. And having it recorded locally on their side, knowing that the final product is going to be something I can rely on to distribute through entrepreneur.com that sees hundreds of thousands. They say 30 million a month. I don't know if that's exactly true, but nevertheless, hundreds of thousands at least. Like, to know I have great audio and video, man, it's everything. I can't talk about your solution enough to people.
I love it. This was not even prepared. At least I didn't know you were going to share this with our users or the people watching. Thanks so much for sharing.
My pleasure,
what's the name
man.
of your show so people can follow you?
The podcast is called The Startup Story.
There we go. Follow it. Follow James and the pod and the Starter Story.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. I love your pod, man. I can't wait to see what you got for 2.0.
You'll see very soon.
Awesome.
I will start by speaking a bit about our mission and vision. I'm for now removing him. So I want to speak a bit about the vision of Riverside and really what we're trying to build here and what we aim to achieve. So we are really on a mission to empower creators to tell their story in like a really high quality way. So what do we mean by that is like we've had vice presidents of the United States use us, but at the same time we have someone like James who is actually has quite a big show, but we also have a lot of people with not such a big audience, and we think especially their story really should be heard in the best possible quality. And one of the reasons why we started Riverside is really to amplify people's voice, and regardless of the devices they're using. Although we have a quite nice setup right now, we're still not right where we should be. We really believe like tools should not be preventing you, should not be a barrier for you to tell your story. And Gideon and I launched, and Gideon is, for the people that just tuned in, Gideon is CTO and I'm the CEO. Gideon and I launched a year and a half ago, and whoa, has it been a journey. We started off as the first in the world to record video locally in the browser. And now we are introducing a bunch of new features that should really, really help you go to the next level with your show. We have had over 1 million hours recorded on Riverside. So that's, even for me, a number it's hard for me to really make sense of. And we've had 200,000 studios created on Riverside. So really, really some usage that we never imagined in our wildest dreams to have being able to empower on Riverside, basically. That said, we still have a lot of work to do. And today we are going to share you in a very, very soon what we've been working on. For now, I first want to introduce you to Luke, who is also something to share with us. He's a user, and I would love to learn how Luke has been leveraging Riverside. Luke. Hey, Luke.
Hello, guys. How are you doing?
We're doing great. Please share with us how you've been leveraging Riverside.
Well,
Love your setup.
Well, this is the thing. So ever since we went into lockdown, we've had to shoot these shows at home, and it really feels like I'm based here in the UK. It really feels like working with Riverside is having the BBC broadcasting studio, but in your bedroom. Behind this screen is hiding a multitude of sins, but thanks to Riverside, I've been able to continue recording my podcast. But I'm excited to see what you guys have planned for 2.0. You know how much I love you guys. You've saved my shows multiple times, and you're just bringing quality and reliability more than anything else.
What do you think we're going to launch today?
Well, I think I've started to see little teasers of new features. So I was using producer mode yesterday to film a show, and noticed that I can now select the input devices from my guests' devices, which is a lifesaver. There's nothing like trying to tell a guest to change their input device and then suddenly realize they can't hear you anymore because they changed it to the wrong input device. So to have that control, to really feel like you're producing as if you were in a studio, has been so incredibly important for me. And having that little tease yesterday has made me really excited for 2.0.
Okay, awesome. Thanks a lot, Luke, for joining, and thanks for always for sharing with people Riverside. For anyone who has questions, you can tweet us at Ask Riverside. We also are giving away a MacBook Air, so if you retweet our message on Twitter, you make a chance of winning that. Luke, you know how much I appreciate you for calling in and for always support. And where can people follow you?
Futurespodcast.net. I run a science and technology podcast, futurespodcast.net.
You should teach us and the people at home how to have that amazing setup like you are having.
I'm more than welcome to.
Okay, cool. Thanks, James. Okay, Gideon, I think it's time. Maybe you can, I will start by explaining what we've been working on behind the scenes. And after that, we'll give a live demo. Okay, so number one. Before, the Magic Editor was really actually rather limited in what you could do. You could merge the tracks, which are the local tracks, and in the seconds you could output a file there. But there are certain basic things that you could not do with Riverside, such as you could change the priority. So now you can change who's going to be in the left side and the right side. So that's like we've already rolled out recently. But now we're also going to have pre-made templates on Riverside. So in a matter of seconds, you can have an amazing looking video with a background that we made for you. So that's like really, really, it's something that sounds maybe simple, but very hard to pull off. And we have some very beautiful pre-made custom designs for you. On top of that, you can also upload your own design. So basically, that's like another way to really, really stand out with your videos among the crowd. So number one, let's go to the next one, Gideon.
For sure. And I also want to add, like, the Magic Editor It's much more than just putting a background. You can style your videos. You can fill them to the height. You can really create an amazing show within seconds. No need to be editing in Premiere Pro, taking your tracks, taking them to your editing software. All can be done within Riverside. So it's a huge addition to our platform.
So let me just, I'm speaking very fast. I'm hearing from the audience. So basically, the Magic Editor is a way for you to go within seconds with already the uploaded files to end production. That's like the Magic Editor. And as part of this Magic Editor, the UI UX is becoming much more streamlined. So it's much more simpler to use as well. But one specific feature that with the Magic Editor that we're rolling out today is custom backgrounds. So you can add your own custom background or use one of our pre-made templates. Okay, number one. Let's go to the next one. All right, this is actually one of the coolest ones, I believe personally. AI speaker view. So what do we mean with that? You can already read the text. Automatically switch to the active speaker milliseconds before they start speaking. No need anymore to do this manually yourself. So some of you might know like active speaker mode from conferencing platforms like Zoom or Google Meet. And that's pretty cool for a live call, but it's absolutely horrible for recording. Because what happens then is if someone sneezes or if someone coughs or if someone speaks for only 1 second or says, like I do all the time, it puts you full screen. But what we are doing, we are analyzing the recording. We are checking. So we're not checking the live call. We're checking the recording. We're checking how long is someone speaking. And if someone speaks for more than a certain amount of time, we put that person full screen. So that means basically we don't switch the camera full screen if you're only speaking for 1 second. And we also don't switch the camera if you sneeze or cough. So it's like a really, really smart speaker mode, basically, that we're introducing today. And this is something people normally do, like take hours to do like a multicam edit in Premiere Pro. And now you can do this automatically on Riverside. And even cooler, we switch the camera 1 second before you start speaking. So before Gideon starts speaking, we already know when he's going to speak, so we make him full screen before he starts speaking. So that's like some of the most exciting features that I have, and we'll give you a live demo afterwards as well. But I'm so pumped about this feature, and I hope you guys are going to be using it a lot. Gideon?
Yeah, it's really amazing what the team has pulled off here. We're basically taking this 6-hour-long process of finding who is speaking when, making them big, and in order to look professional and to really create something that looks different than just a regular Zoom recording. We're taking that whole process of hours into seconds. So that's very, very, very impressive and very, I think, powerful for you users to reach the goal of creating quality content within seconds.
Awesome. Yeah, and if we have bad internet connections, like that's why we built Riverside, because all the time Gideon and I had bad internet connections, but the recordings are always amazing. So that's like the main purpose of Riverside. Like there's only so much you can do with internet connections. We try to have the best setup today, but we might sound still cutting out. But the beautiful thing about Riverside is that the recordings look and sound if they were recorded offline. So even like we're speaking about AI speaker view, which is cool. We're speaking about the Magic Editor. But the whole cool thing about all these features is the combination of those local tracks and the editor. Because then you have really, really good video and audio, and then you can leverage our powerful editing capabilities. Okay, let's go to yeah.
Maybe explain just for a second for our users who don't know what our local recording
yeah, absolutely.
What that means.
Absolutely. So for the people tuning in, basically, Riverside is a platform to record really, really high quality audio and video, and afterwards use that audio and video to create a beautiful podcast or videos. And what I mean and we found a way to record really high quality audio and video, which is also called local recording. So basically what we do, we locally record on your computer during the call, like you and I are having right now, and upload that in real time to the cloud. And what that means is that internet connections don't affect the recordings because we are recorded locally on your computer, on my computer and on Gideon's computer, and uploading that in real time. And that's like the most important part of whole Riverside, is that we found a way to record really high quality, regardless of internet connections. Does that make sense, Gideon?
Yeah, I love it.
Okay, cool. Next one.
Next big thing.
All right. We should have used the media board for this, but okay. So today, we launched our iPhone app a while ago, and we were the first in the world to launch an iPhone app where we're locally recording and uploading real time. and we've been in beta for some time, but today we're finally going out of beta. I'm super pumped about that as well. This can really take your whole production to another level. Gideon, do we have our iOS engineer calling in today?
He is, but he's not yet in the waiting room. I'm sure he's waiting for our sign.
All right,
but,
all right.
Yoav, you are invited.
So basically, this will really allow you to record from your iPhone from anywhere, and with that same great quality that you're used to from Riverside, and even better. I think we have Yoav here, who is our iOS engineer. Let's accept him, and he can explain better than anyone else.
Hello.
Hey Yoav, maybe introduce yourself for 1 second, and then talk with us a bit about this new feature.
So hi guys, everyone. My name is Yoav. I'm in charge of developing Riverside's mobile app. As Nadav and Gideon told, I've been working really hard for the past couple of months to make your guest experience easier, faster, and smoother, with allowing you to reach your audience mode, to reach your guest mode, and invite your guests into your podcast and your interviews without having to be in front of a computer, which really takes your content creation ability to the next level. Which we can also agree that mobile apps are really a powerful tool, which includes powerful cameras, microphones, and really computer-like processing powers, which ideally is a perfect tool for our process and our recording and uploading flows. We also have a little surprise, a little present for you guys. We added audience mode support, so live session support. So all your users, all your listeners can also join in on your session, a live session, your Q&As, without having to be in front of a computer. It's really an exciting time.
Yoav, important question. Are you joining now
course,
from
I'm
your
joining,
iPhone?
You can also see I'm moving away, of course, only iPhones.
Okay, so why I'm personally so pumped about having an iPhone is like I always have. Cameras are still so cumbersome to use, like webcams are not really out there. DSLR you can get amazing quality, but DSLR is super annoying to get started with. You need to have a cam link, you need to have certain cables, and not everyone has DSLR. Everyone has at least a mobile phone, and hopefully many of you have an iPhone. An iPhone has an amazing camera, a much better camera than your built-in laptop camera, a much better camera often than the webcams out there. So basically everyone has this amazing camera and mic in their pocket, and with our iPhone app you can leverage them like never before. And I think this is really why we are so excited about this. And Yoav has done an amazing job at building this app, and super happy to finally present it to all of you.
Sure, for sure.
Yeah, and I think it's important to notice also, like, we have been in beta with this app, as you all know, but this is the official launch. We're ready for production and
safe to use.
Safe to use, ready for all your recordings, all your guests.
I think this also brings us to an important point before we launch our last feature, which is actually not the smallest feature at all. It's reliability and stability is always our number one priority. So although we are adding new features, our core features, reliability and stability. And with this launch, Riverside 2.0, we really believe we're coming closer and closer to 100% perfect, reliable recording. And we already have extra backups, and there's always stuff that we can do because there's so many different browsers, a lot of edge cases. But really believe that we invest a lot of time in making the platform reliable. And with Riverside 2.0, we believe we've come again closer to that mission of having a reliable production studio in your pocket or anywhere online. Cool. That said, I think let's go to the next slide. Which is also a huge deal. Yoav, thank you for joining.
Hey, you guys, enjoy.
Cool. Gideon, you can.
Yeah, I'm just bumping this up. Wait. Are you ready?
Yala, let's go. We didn't share the video yet, actually, but okay. Okay. Today we launched Transcriptions, automatic transcriptions. Everyone who has a pro account will from now on be able to transcribe all of their audio and video automatically to text. This is a huge deal for podcasters and video creators out there, because what that means is you can super easily create subtitles with us. You can use that extra content for blog posts. You can use it for SEO. So it's another way really to stand out in the crowd. It's another way that makes your whole production level to the next level from beginning to end on Riverside. And it's so again super easy to use. We've trained our model a lot. Actually, it's an in-house build, and it's really proven to be pretty accurate. And yeah, super excited for you to use it. It's again super easy to use. It's just a matter of switching on the knob, and all of your video is automatically transcribed. Gideon, anything to add there?
No, I think this is another, like, I think it's clear, like, our trend here. We are just trying to save you time. If it's with the AI speaker view, the magic editor, transcriptions, all of this you can do by yourself. You can start typing everything your guest is saying. You can start editing everything manually. But we are here to support you, our users and our content
so
creators.
You can really focus on your content. Yeah,
exactly. You focus on your content. We do the rest. That's our mission, and working every day on that.
All right. In 15 minutes, guys, we're gonna have Alexis Ohanian joining us. He's the founder of Reddit and also one of our investors, and he's been using Riverside himself a lot. But for now, Gideon, I'm getting text. I should speak slower. But for now, Gideon, let's give people a live demo on a few of our features.
Let's do it. Give me a second.
Sure.
Okay, sharing my screen right now.
Should I turn off my...
One second. Okay.
Should we turn off our videos, Gideon?
No, that should be okay.
I don't see your screen yet.
Now you should see it.
Okay, there we go. It's loading.
Yes. The transcription, I see we're getting questions about what language we support in the transcriptions. For now, only English. A lot of languages to come, though. We have now the infrastructure ready. We can really easily add new languages. We just obviously want to first support, like roll it out slowly, make sure the English is working great, and then we can go to the different languages. But yeah, expect some cool stuff there as well. So let's say we recorded now our podcast or our interview, our video, and if any content we want to create, and we, instead of downloading the files, which we can do here one by one, we can download our MP4, drag it into our editing software like Premiere Pro. We can now have magic editing. So let's go into our magic editor. This will load the tracks. And here we first of all can really easily change the order of our tracks. So let's say Nadav here is on the left side, and we want him to be on the right side. So we can just give him give myself a higher priority, Gideon. Very charming thumbnail, as you can all see. And now we've changed the order. So within a click, again, instead of dragging and dropping videos and handling the timelines in your editing software, you can do it within a click. And now we go to our next step. Oh, you saw that? Backgrounds. So here, we first of all can choose if we want a grid view or AI speaker view, which is our new feature we're launching today. AI speaker view, as said, will always highlight the speaker and make sure that that the speaker is always basically the full screen. If we want them to be full screen, we can also make them split screen. So now Nadav is here on the side, or shared picture in picture. And this is super cool, as Nadav explained before. This is not just speaker view like you know from your meeting, from your conference software. This is speaker view that completely replaces your editing cuts and flows that you normally have to go into your editing software and edit all of these tracks. Now it will do it automatically. It will see when I'm talking, switch before I'm talking, and if Nadav sneezes or the other person sneezes or coughs in the middle or laughs, and the switch is not worth it, it will stay on my video. So this is very, very, very cool and very innovative. We're the first, of course, to launch this in the whole space, which is like, I think, a huge achievement.
Shout out
so
to
if
OE.
you go back, Shout out to Roy. If we go back to our grid view, we can basically have a few options here. We can style it with gaps. We can sharpen, or we can add rounded corners to our videos. We can, as you see now, it's filling until to the end, the height. But let's say we want to have the full width of the videos, keep our original aspect ratio, because every little pixel is important. We know, we also count pixels. Boom. So now we have our full videos ready in our grid. The Magic editor supports up to 9 people. So that's, again, super powerful editing. And here we can change background images to some really cool branded images. Shout out to our designers who really made sure that your video looks amazing. And you don't have to start looking into Google for YouTube or video backgrounds. We've all done it for you, the hard work. And then, of course, if we go to our next step, we have the big new feature, which is transcriptions after export. So basically, your Magic Editor video file will be transcribed. I will show that once we click here on export. We have, of course, our really cool also super powerful features, which are normalize audio levels and remove background noise to make your audio quality even better. Even though it's already locally recorded, sometimes you can have a guest who is not wearing the headphones and even save their audio. So that's really, really powerful and really will save you a lot of time.
Okay. I just want to ask, I want to ask something, or actually maybe when you export it becomes more clear. So people are asking, can you also download the SRT for YouTube, for example? Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I will now show the transcription. So if we now, let me just share. Actually, I could have stayed sharing this. So if we click here on, sorry. So if we, after exporting, we go to our Magic Editor projects, and we'll see here the project. We can either download the video, which will obviously give us the video in completely edited, completely with the background in the grid, or the transcription we can see here. This was a very short demo we've done, and that's we can see here the speakers. It's grouped by sections, and here we can download the SRT for YouTube or for your any other video player, or the text if you just want to maybe save it on share it on your blog or on your Twitter. You can copy the text really easily with timestamps and everything. So I think all of this together is again like super powerful and will save you a ton of time. Yeah. Any other questions, Nadav?
A lot of different questions about if we have an Android app, but for now let's continue to the next.
Yeah. So that's it for the demo.
That's it for the demo. We are. Do we have any final result of an AI speaker mode we can share, or it's hard to share? Okay, let's just summarize for the people that only tuned in later what we launched today. Okay, we launched transcriptions, so you can automatically transcribe. In 9 minutes, we also have Alexis Ohanian, the founder of Reddit, joining us live, and he will tell us a bit more how he leverages Riverside. So today we launched 4 big new things. We launched the transcriptions, automatic transcription, so you can automatically transcribe your audio and video to text with time codes. So it's super easy to make subtitles and whatever. We launched AI speaker mode. It's really, really cool. I think the coolest feature where we're analyzing the recording instead of the live call and detect who is speaking and make it really a perfect cut for you to whoever is speaking, basically. So unlike a conferencing platform, we don't switch if you only sneeze or cough. We only switch if you actually speak for a certain amount of time and make you full screen. We launched our iPhone app out of beta. This really, really empowers you to record from anywhere in really, really high quality video. And then we launched the backgrounds in the Magic Editor. So really allowing yourself to stand out in the crowd and having a nice background, a branded video. You can either upload your own background or use one of our pre-made custom backgrounds. Let's answer a few questions, and then we'll accept Alexis Ohanian into the show. Okay, let me see what questions you have. Can you edit the transcriptions before downloading? Are the transcriptions real time? Gideon.
So for now, no, not yet. Of course, this is on our radar. We just wanted to already give you as much value as soon as possible. So for now, you can download them and edit them yourselves. So, but you can download all of those raw files like the SRT and the TXT. So you can edit them however you want with any text editor.
Can you change the screen layout midstream or in post? So I imagine.
What do they mean exactly?
Yeah. So they ask either
in the
midstream,
Magic Editor.
So I guess during the call or in post production.
So for now, yes, with actually, but only on an automatic way. So if you have a speaker view, AI speaker view, it will do it automatically for you to see who's talking and switch the layout. But there's no way to edit the Magic Editor files, but you always have the raw files, which you of course can edit however you like.
Amazing.
I think we have
Which
one
one?
other feature we didn't talk about even.
Yes.
Our
Go
screen
ahead,
shares.
Okay, so screen
Go
sharing
ahead.
is actually really a great way for you to have a more of a dynamic podcast or video. But part of our issues was always that screen sharing is not super high quality. But with Riverside 2.0, we officially also launched higher quality screen sharing. So now you can share your screen in 1080p or record your screen in 1080p. So really having like a similar resolution recording as the normal local files, also in your screen now. So that's been like a major effort for us as well.
And you can use that screen in your in the Magic Editor. So you can, and if you use speaker view with the picture-in-picture, you can have a really nice broadcast, basically type of.
Awesome. Any other
video.
questions? You can always tag us, hashtag Ask Riverside. For now, let's answer a bit more. Oh yeah, Gideon, we didn't really speak about the media board. Maybe you can speak for 2 minutes about the media board as well as part of this launch.
Yes, so the media board is a very cool new feature as well. We've launched to our users like recently. It's basically a way to stream audio and video files live to all of your guests. You might ask, what's new about that? A lot, because we also record those files locally. So no need. It's just like you have your high quality video files of your talking heads of your guests. You also have high quality recording files of audio and video you're streaming live. So let's say, as you all saw, I had like the thing of Guy Raz. I can share it again. Maybe it's nice for the people who haven't seen it yet.
Hey everyone, it's Guy Raz here, and I got to check out a preview. Hey everyone, it's Guy Raz here, and I got to check out a preview of Riverside 2.0, and it is going to help take your show to the next level. Hey everyone, it's Guy Raz here, and I got to check out a preview.
Oh, okay.
I know.
So, what's the difference between a media board and screen sharing? Someone asks.
So by sharing a file on the media board, it will be automatically locally recorded in the highest quality possible as a separate track. So in your post-production flow, if it's in our Magic Editor, which I highly recommend selecting that media board track, and it will be part of your output, it will be locally recorded, so not affected on any internet connections by any internet connections, and it'll be a separate track. So let's say something you started sharing your screen, you started sharing your video a bit too early, like I did right now. You can go in your post-production software, cut it out a bit, and it's super powerful. So two things, more control and very powerful. Plus, it's very convenient. You can have all your files in media board. I would show you, but I recommend checking it all out. You can go to your studio.
I think we already mentioned, but what languages are transcriptions available?
Yeah, so for now,
got it.
English.
You're a bit out of focus.
Only. Cool. Yes, gotcha. I see people asking, what if two people talk at the same time with the AI speaker view? So, of course, our Yeah, very good question. And our genius engineers have always thought about it. So what will happen is the person who is talking will stay talking, basically. So the other person stays small on the side, and the person who was talking first will stay big. So that's a smart way to solve that. Yeah, that's basically how we decided to solve that. So that way it doesn't just switches when we're still both of us talking. We prefer to have like a nice and smooth conversation.
Okay, awesome. 3 more questions, and then we'll give Alexis the floor. Let's see. Would there any be? Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Will there be any?
Yeah,
we're seeing the same questions on Twitter. Everybody, as you see, we're reading this question, so tweet us. But somebody's asking if there's an ability to add logos or overlays in the custom editor. Yes, I didn't show that feature, but there's an ability to add any graphic to your video. So you can go to the graphics, to the design phase of the Magic Editor, and select your file and just add it. You can resize it, reposition it. That's very convenient.
Awesome. 2 more questions. Would you be able to clarify if the new version of iOS? Would you be able to clarify if the new version of the iOS app can be used by the host to start and end the recording? Previously, we could not do this.
So for right now, we're still only supporting the guest.
If that's something you really want, let us know. But it is on the roadmap. But it's always good to know whether people really want to also be able to host, be part of that iPhone app, basically. Okay.
Yeah.
The price.
The price. People are asking about the price. All of this is included in your plans, except for the transcriptions, which is only available for pro users. So if you want to use that, you have to upgrade. But the Magic Editor, the custom backgrounds, the AI speaker view, that's all included in your regular plan. So you can start using that today. The transcriptions will roll out in the coming days. Some of you already might be able to see it, but we are controlling the load. So that's
very soon. I think after today, hopefully. Okay, great. So one more question. Can we go live with Instagram with the app?
No, Instagram has no way to go live except for within the Instagram app itself. So that's not something we can support.
Cool. Let's see. 1 second, I'm reading the Twitter. So if you have more questions, #ask Riverside. When should we expect an Android app? Soon.
Soon. No, of course it's on our radar. We're not trying to be privileged by only building an iPhone app. We just have to, as a startup, we have limited resources. So we first and we want to make the best product out there. So we first focus on one platform at a time, make sure it works amazing, and then go to the next platform. Now iPhone is working really amazing, so you understand what our plans are for the coming period. Yeah.
So by the way, we're giving away a MacBook Air for the people retweeting our launch tweet. So retweet that and make chance to win that iPhone Air, MacBook Air. We didn't have that many retweets yet, so you have a good chance of winning it actually. I
might retweet it.
We cannot win it, but definitely retweet it and then make chance to win it. Let's see if we have any more questions.
Sorry, I removed Nadav by accident. He's coming soon. That was my mistake. I clicked the wrong button. I was trying to accept.
Oops, I accidentally closed, I think, the thing. Do you hear me? Okay, he kicked me out.
Yes, sorry for that.
Okay. Cool,
yeah, I kicked you out.
Okay, Alexis Ohanian is coming on 2 minutes, but I see one more screen as well. Do you see that as well, Gideon, or not? Okay, cool. Never mind.
No, it's fine.
So what was the last questions we had? I was saying... Oh yeah. What happens if someone is different eye lined in the camera? How do we fix that? Like level to the camera, I guess.
For now, there's no way to fix that. We recommend using the preview recording feature in the studio, so that you can see exactly what the frame looks like, and try to position your guest in the middle of the frame. But we are aware of this problem. Oh, and you can use the keep original aspect ratio feature. So that way you know for sure the whole frame will be in the Magic Editor, and nothing will be cut off. So that's we thought of the problem, and we have a solution there. So use that,
awesome.
and then it should be all good.
Okay, let's see what else we have. Is there a way to play back audio video before downloading? This is a good question. Well, let's answer that question. Meanwhile, we accept Alexis in the studio.
There we go.
There we go.
He's here. Sorry for the delay.
No, it's completely fine. We were answering some bit more questions for the people watching. So, Alexis, did you see what we launched today?
Riverside 2.0. I saw a banner flying over Riverside, California, but I did also know that the more important thing, no disrespect to the banner on the airplane, the more important thing is that Riverside 2.0 shipped, and a whole host of new features that I'm going to be taking advantage of for the ComX Cap podcast, and I assume a lot of your users are very happy to see as well.
Cool. So, Alexis, maybe you can give a short introduction, how you've been using Riverside, and like how you think content plays an essential role these days, or if not.
I mean, content is everything, right? If you can, in a world with ever increasing distractions, right? There are infinite distractions now. If you can maintain an audience's attention long enough to also then build a community, you wield tremendous power in this new age. And I've looked at a lot of products over the last 10 years. I co-founded Reddit 16 years ago. Sold it, then came back as executive chairman, turned it around, and then left again. And I've been a venture capitalist the last decade, investing in the earliest rounds of companies from Coinbase to Instacart, Patreon, Row. There's a lot. Axie Infinity, most recently. But at the end of the day, I've watched this rise, and thanks to being early in Patreon, I've played a role in helping really build up a lot of that creator economy. Just because so many of my friends, a lot of people who I met actually through Reddit, were creators trying to make a living on YouTube or other platforms and couldn't. And it's been amazing to watch all these tools come up. And now we're at the stage where I think a lot of people have been clamoring for something like Riverside for a long time, especially for things like this, where you've got your nice setups at home, whether you're a YouTuber or just someone who does a lot of Zoom calls in my case. And creating content is something more and more people are doing, especially together collaboratively. And I really believe that creator tools is a great place to invest, because if you can build that relationship, being the sort of picks and shovels that creators use to make their content, that is a really valuable place to be. And to have, to have heads of state or really important investors or really important CEOs do an interview and tell them actually at the start of the interview, hey, can you please record locally on QuickTime? And then when you're done, go to WeTransfer to drop the massive file over and send it to us, and let us know as soon as you sent it so we can make sure we've got the good audio and video from your side. I was doing enough of these interviews during COVID where I'm just like, this is unprofessional. Like, how are these top tier publications really going to ask? I'm like, I can do that. I'm comfortable with technology, but how are they going to ask these other CEOs and these heads of state and all these other people to do all these tools? Like, it's just got to work. It's just got to work. And I remember being so impressed, not just the first time meeting you all and what Riverside was back then, but then a few months later, seeing just how much more you had shipped, just how much better the product had gotten. And that, to me, is one of the strongest indications of a successful product startup, is the ability and the taste with which you ship great product consistently and quickly. And I've told you this before. I mean, you all are in rare air for I mean, there's only, I would put you in the category of like definitely top 1% of product founders that I've backed in your ability to do that and execute so well. And it shows. And the nice thing about it is then your users really start feeling it, right? There are a few things more satisfying. I am still not as good of a product leader, but there are a few things more satisfying than shipping something new, a feature, maybe an entire 2.0 sort of overhaul, a big update, and seeing people be delighted by it. And it's so satisfying. You're making something people love. You're making something people are willing to spend their hard-earned money on and are basically building their careers on top of. And y'all are doing it. And it's little things too. So we run this podcast community times capital. And even just the time being saved, because now Riverside will automatically switch. We'll know how to cut between the speakers who are talking away from the ones who aren't. Like that is such a perfect example of something that software can do way better, cheaper, faster than a human. And no human should do. That's just not worth. The best producers in the world should not spend a minute worrying, okay, when did Alexis stop talking? And there. Now cut back to Gideon. Like that's so mindless. It's so pointless. That is the job of software, and you've shipped it. And so just as one specific example, you start to see this cadence, and then very quickly, the brand of Riverside, the community of Riverside, is associated with all those warm and fuzzies because the damn thing just keeps getting better and better. So that's why I invested. That's who I am, and happy to be here.
Alexis, thank you so much for joining. I think that's an amazing way to end this live call.
I'm not done though. We should still jam.
All right,
Is there?
I didn't know how much time you have.
6 minutes before I got to go. Okay. I was just monologuing because I was just really excited.
Okay. I want to know, you have a podcast. Why do you create that podcast? Because I don't know, how many viewers do you have? Is it a way for you to reach more people? I'm just curious.
Let me tell you. So and I know this because I was just putting it on a deck. Across the 3 major channels for me, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn, I have a little over 1.5 million followers, it's okay. I think for a VC, it's pretty good. For a creator, it's not great. But I've never invested in it properly. I've never really said, here's my plan. Here, let me put in the work regularly. Because I had other things, right? Being an investor was a full-time job. Being exec chair at Reddit was a full-time job. And it was always just an afterthought. But one of the things I really want to get right with 776, which is the venture firm, of course, that invested in you all, is I want to do a better job regularly creating content. One, because look, making Reddit, being early in places like Patreon, I have no excuse. I think I fundamentally understand this stuff. But I've never really been building a community for me. I was building a community for Reddit, or I was helping Y Combinator build their community, or I was building community for Initialized. And so these are all firms that I had started, but not YC, but I didn't put my sort of personal voice on as much. It wasn't about me. It was about those entities. And I think the big thing that's changed now is, and you're seeing it in venture, you're seeing it everywhere, individuals are what people trust more than institutions. And so while the trust in institutions across the board continues to decline, the sort of trust in individuals, I mean, some individuals, it's still pretty low, but people are looking for that authenticity of oh yeah, no, I know that guy. I know Alexis. I look him in the eyes and hear him talk to me on ComEx Cap or on this Riverside chat. And that is powerful, especially in a world where we are, right now, largely quarantined. But even as we finally, hopefully, defeat COVID, we're still going to be in a new world where more and more people are going to be able to conduct business or entertainment or who knows what with random people all over the world, thanks to the internet, right? We're never going to forget that experience. And so just like the creator economy got a huge boom because of COVID, it's not going to go away once we beat this thing. It's not going to go to zero. It might dip a little bit, but it's just going to keep on growing. And so that is a new reality. And so I encourage anyone, even the newest partners we have at 776, one of the big things that I work with them on is finding their voice and developing their voice. Twitter is the easiest place to do it because you can just knock out a few hundred characters and, there's some content. But I'm really pushing them even more towards audio and visual, whether it's a podcast to start, if they don't want to deal with being on camera, just something to get literally their voice out there, because there's a depth, there's an intimacy, there's something else. You could hear me. I could do this as a tweet storm, but it would feel different than hearing me say it and looking at me saying it. And that's powerful. And as long as we are still Homo sapiens, we're going to have these sort of biological biases towards these things, right? Our species only recently learned how to read and write. Those are very important skills. Those are things we need. Believe me, I'm a very big fan of reading and writing. But remember, as a species, we're still primed to hear and see and experience communication that way. And as long as we are still locked in our physical selves and not, uploaded to the matrix, those are going to matter. And those things are going to matter even more when you have just infinite choice of what to listen to, what to ingest, but only 24 hours in the day. And so it's going to be on us as creators to then deliver really great content. And the way we do that is with the best tools imaginable, which is, here we are, why we invested.
For sure. I think why we were so happy to have you on board and joining this journey is because of your strong personal brand. They don't call you for nothing, the mayor of the internet. So I think that's thanks to you're putting yourself out there and really being yourself, being fully transparent, and content is just the best way in my eyes to be yourself and to share.
I appreciate that, audience. And I think it has paid dividends in surprising ways. And when we invested, we very deliberately, I won't name names because I don't know how many of them are public, but I very deliberately set aside part of that round so that I could invite friends of mine who were creators, as well as strangers, like very popular YouTubers who I didn't know at all, some who I'm friends with. And I was very happy to email each and every one of them. I think in total, I don't know, 50, at least a dozen, right? Top tier folks who, again, I will announce them when the time is right. But it was easy for me to do that because as a consumer, as a product builder myself, as a user of it, as a creator, it's very easy to say, look, this is worth a few minutes. Just try this out for a second. You're going to want to meet the founders. And the reason that email works is partially because okay, I co-founded Reddit and I have whatever reputation from that, but it also just comes from a place where I think I've tried really hard over the course of my career to keep it as 100 as possible with folks, to try to come correct to my audience and peers and whatnot. And I do take pride in my work. And I really do believe that if you do those things, show up authentically, take pride in your work, and sort of consistently deliver, that's how you build that reputation. And that's how, at the end of the day, when you invest in a startup, and send an email to both, friends of yours who are creators as well as total strangers, you get responses. And then all it takes is that click. And then I don't have to do anything else because you all have already built the product and built something really impressive in short order. And I think that's such a strong seal of approval when you have people who make their living, who have built massive followings, creating content online saying, yeah, Riverside is it. And I mean, that was months ago. The product's already evolved so much since then. And I'll be excited to hear what they think of 2.0 because it's cooking. It's cooking, y'all.
All right. Alexis Ohanian, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be in touch.
Thank you.
Okay.
Also, love the updated banner in the back.
I'm now actually in a WeWork in Israel. So I moved places.
Right.
I moved from Amsterdam to Israel now.
But you got a new banner.
I got a new banner. I didn't take it with me. I got a new one.
That's right. Upgrade. I love it. Upgrade. Thank you, guys.
Thanks so much.
Take care.
Bye, Alexis.
See you.
Bye, Alexis.
Second. Cool. So for everyone watching, I hope you really enjoyed it. Go check it out. Sign up to Riverside and try it out for free. Riverside 2.0 is here today. Transcriptions will be out later today, tomorrow. But we've put a lot of work into it and really, really believe this is going to take your game to the next level. We'll also publish this recording later, so if you miss something, make sure to check that out as well. Okay, and if you want to win a MacBook Air, retweet our tweet. See y'all later.
Bye-bye.